Hello, hello, hello. We are live. Hello, people. Hello, peeps of the internet. I am Lala Angela Wang. I am a mum to baby George. I am a entrepreneur, also an intrapreneur who works for businesses. In fact, I've got a day job in the construction industry here in Sydney, Australia. I've been doing it for 16 years now. And I am also an entrepreneur spirit. So I had my own business together with my job for the past 8 years now. So I was meant to come out here and talk to you guys today about pure magic. I was meant to deliver a masterclass, a free masterclass online on all the platforms about pure magic, about how to create pure magic. But throughout this week, I keep getting this message that I need to communicate this more. I need to tell you guys what pure magic is really all about. So here I am, currently live on Instagram, on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So say hello if you're on all of the platforms, so I can say hello back. And this is really the component. So inside my business, The Womanly Way, there are different components of life. There's the part about, self-love, about our relationship with ourselves. And that is about loving ourselves, knowing ourselves, and connecting with ourselves, with our spiritual team. But there's also other components that makes up the womanly way. There's our relationship with our family. Right? So there's relationship with ourselves, relationship with our family, and then I believe relationship with wealth. Because let's face it, right? Without money, there's a lot of things that we can't do. As much as I want to say that, or people want us to say that money is evil, that money doesn't buy you everything. But the truth is, money isn't evil, good or bad. Money just is. Money is an energy. And money, even though it doesn't grow on trees, loves a good energy, right? So the more you can tap into abundance, the more you can tap into flow, the more they can tap into all the things beauty and luxury, the more wealth you attract, the more you'll be able to support your family. And that's what I truly believe. So I was guided. This pure magic came to me a while ago, probably more than 12 months ago. And it was just as I was getting ready to come back to work. I had a lot of reflection on where my career has taken me and where I want to take my career to the next level. And a lot of people looking at me, they're like, well, at the age of 40, you're at a pretty good place. You've got a good job, you've got a good team, you've got amazing bosses that support you. You're pretty lucky. Or some people will say to me, you've done well, you've done good for your life, as most Aussie would say. And yes, I am. I do. I'm so grateful for what I have. But at the same time, it's not about luck, right? Luck's got nothing to do with it. It's my commitment to create a life that has then generated magic. And the reason I went on to a bit of a tangent about money is that money is magic. But also, what else is magic is being able to create a life of flow, being able to manifest a life of flow, being able to be at the space where you're tapping into constant gratitude and you're just loving the things you do. I was actually talking to one of my supplier. So he's moved companies a couple times over the past few years, and we've become really good friends. So we are having a chat yesterday. He's like, "Oh, who loves their jobs?" I'm like, "I actually do. I actually love my job because it gives me fulfillment. It allows me to connect with people, and I really get a good kick out of it, knowing what I'm doing is contributing to greater good for other human beings." But this didn't come naturally to me, right? It really didn't come naturally to me. There's a lot of hard work, there's a lot of adjustment, a lot of inner reflections that had to happen in order for me to get to where I am today. And when pure magic was downloaded to me or through me, it was that idea that, yes, work can be hard, life can be hard, but at the same time, if we do the work, we can tap into that flow, we can tap into the grace, we can tap into the beauty in life and create magic. And truly, that's what I really desire for people in my world, for, anyone who's listening or watching, is being able to tap into the magical of you. And really, a lot of people think, it's probably black magic. It's not. It's not. It's about this, what one of my mentor said a lot. It's about staying in your own lane. It's about that inner reflection, doing the hard work. I did a series of story today. It talked about a situation um, that I was in earlier towards the end of last month. And essentially what happened was we had a new team member. Her and I didn't quite sit well together. And there's a matter of opinions about me that was exchanged with other members of the business. So she ended up resigning, and she believed that I had no intention of making myself a better person in order to improve the situation. Right? And me being me, I blamed myself quite a bit when this whole thing first started, and when it finally came out and she resigned in the end. I felt really a mix of emotions. I felt relieved because I felt like I was treading on ice around this person. I felt guilty because I blamed myself for the situation that got to this point. And it was really difficult for me. So I did a lot of reflection, and I've actually learned from it. If you go back and watch my story, I talked about how upon reflection, I realized sometimes I tend to be quite direct. And for some people, that's not how they communicate, and they can kind of find it quite confronting. And what I realized was one sentence could have helped me out of a situation a lot better and could have diffused a lot of anxiety for other people, perhaps, is is it okay if I ask a couple questions just so I can understand where you're coming from? Because quite often I go into a series of questions and people are like, why is she asking me all these questions? Right. And really my intention is just to understand where they're coming from. And because also I'm quite impatient and sometimes I do cut into conversations and not fully listen to other people. Yeah, I could come across as arrogant, direct. This person described me as potentially sometimes very unapproachable at times. And I really felt guilty about it. But upon reflection, I'm like, okay, I've learned my lesson. And you know what? I need to stop beating myself up because it's not benefiting anyone. It's giving me so much stress and it affects me as a person and my performance at work. But at the same time, I need to stop going into the loop about playing out scenarios and trying to fix it, right? Our brain quite often want to fix things. And when we try to fix things, sometimes we go into this blaming mode because we can't fix it ourselves and then it must be someone else's fault. And I didn't like that. So I had to do the work to get myself out of the situation. And I truly, truly believe when we can look at situations with love instead of fueling it with anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, even though I'm not in front of this person anymore, I do believe by me sending love, there's more love around, and hopefully this person can feel it too. But you may be asking, well, how has this got anything to do with your career or pure magic or creating pure magic in our lives? Well, yes, I did went on a tangent, but what I really want to explain to you guys is that magic didn't come from midair. Magic comes from me taking responsibility and say, hey, it is my responsibility to make sure that I create the life that I wanted, starting with my energy, with my emotions, with my mental state, with the way that I look at things. And the truth is, the past 3 years hasn't been easy. There's so much joy, but there's also so much stress and anxiety, right? Motherhood wasn't easy. Financial stresses does happen, especially with the current climate, with the current interest rate situation in Australia. And there are stressful moments. Even one last couple of days, one of my team members like, "How are you?" I'm like, "Oh, to be honest, I'm just okay. I'm just okay. I'm surviving." And this person said to me, "That's not like you. You're normally like the most positive person I know." I'm like, "Yeah, it's been a really tough year, right? In terms of my job, I am currently on a job that I've been on for the third year, a very problematic job, and we had high staff turnover. And every time a new person come on, I have to explain the situation. And I don't want to, again, finger point, but we've also got some difficult external stakeholders as well. So it's been tough, right? It's also been tough because um, I've been asked to assist with some legacy projects. And also the fact that I actually haven't got a project of my own at the moment. So I'm looking after a lot of bits and pieces, which I don't mind doing. That's all part of stepping up and taking leadership positions and helping out. But some days it can be quite draining. And I don't know whether you feel the same. Um, so Halloween was last night. I spoke to so many people, they all like, oh my God, the energy is just ridiculous. It was nuts. Right. And I feel that being an empath, and a lot of times you will see me going like, It's not because I'm stressed. It's because I'm feeling the energy, and it's like putting pressure on my chest when there's intense energy. So life hasn't been easy. But what life has been for me is really, I've been calling to coming back to the basics again and again and again. You may have seen my post. I don't even know whether I posted. I might have forgot to post it. So back to basic. I started doing this back in September. I have failed and failed and failed and failed again. And this is probably the 5th time I've restarted back to basic, which is, daily practices, journaling, routine, and all that sort of things. But the message I've got and the lessons I've learned is that this is what I'm meant to do. This is what I'm meant to show the world, is that we can fall. We can pick ourselves up again. We can fall again. We can pick ourselves up again. But as long as you continue to pick yourself up, eventually you will get there. All right? Eventually you will get there. And that is really my purpose, to demonstrate to people that luck has got nothing to do with it. In order to create pure magic in my life, there were so many times I had to fall and stand up, fall and stand up, fall and stand up. And you may not know this. The truth and the reality is, I've always been an underdog in the corporate world. People look at me and never really get put up. So currently, there's NAWIC, National Association of Women in Construction, and every year our company put some up-and-coming female forward, as the up-and-coming female. I'll never get picked for those things because I'm just not, apparently, good enough to be up-and-coming, right? So am I lucky? Really? Probably not. Quite often I get underlooked. But where I make up the difference is understanding people, understanding myself, and understanding how I can support the people that needed my support. How I can support the people that understands and sees my gift and my potential, and attract the kind of people that sees my potential. So what I really desire to share in this free workshop, masterclass, whatever you want to call it, are some of the strategies that I use to create this, are some of the strategies that I use around building my brand, understanding myself, loving myself, and connect with myself. So I know in almost every single moment, not always, what I want and what is going to help me tap into my fullest potential, how I build my tribe, how I find my niche and succeed, and how I connect with not just myself, but not just spirit, but my people. Okay? Essentially, it's my guide to create the career path that you wanted in an effortless way that doesn't require you to fight for it or stepping on other people's shoulder to climb up the corporate ladder, or even, I guess, having to go through that constant struggle. Often people say to me, being a woman working in construction is a struggle. And my answer to that is, it's only a struggle if you desire to make it a struggle. If you decided that it's going to be a struggle, then it's a struggle. The moment that you decide something is a struggle, you're already struggling. So, yeah, that's what I really desire to share with you guys in the Pure Magic Masterclass. And if you are interested, we're going to postpone it to next Wednesday instead. 8 p.m. Australia Eastern Daylight Saving Time. it'll be covering a lot more. I just feel leading up to this, I need to share with you guys a few more things about my take on Korea, what the womanly way is when it comes to career building, and just, yeah, just share with you guys a bit more about all the things. So if you have any questions, if you wanted to know more about the workshop, or if you just want to come along, simply jump onto your favorite platform. It'll be live like this again on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram, just so I can connect with you. Or if you have any questions you want to ask me, feel free to DM me between now and this time next week, next Wednesday, which would be, I don't know, next Wednesday is the 8th. Yeah. Which is in Chinese calendar official start of winter. How cool is that? All right, guys, thank you for spending time with me today. I appreciate you dropping by and say hello. Love you all so, so, so much. I will see you next time.